A very warm welcome to this World Game Changers podcast, where your host, Paul D. Lowe, embraces many crucial conversations that compassionately contribute towards creating a better life and world. Paul's intention's very simple: to help get people's inspirational insights and motivational messages out into the world, so others may benefit.
Hello, listeners, and welcome to this World Game Changers podcast episode. Today, I am joined by a returning guest, Collins Mureithi, and Collins is in Kenya, in Africa. And on the previous episode, we spoke around this soulful leadership and soulful leaders of Africa. It's time to unite. And what we're going to do on this one, listeners, we're going to change the focus slightly, almost keep the same title by saying Unsung Heroes of Africa. It's time to unite. Collins, a very, very warm welcome to you again, sir.
Thank you so much, Paul, and I'm glad to be here.
So, just as I started the previous episode, Collins, by asking you what was your thoughts, or what did the two words soulful leaders mean to you, I'm going to start this one off by asking the same question in respect of what do the two words unsung heroes mean to you?
Oh, the two words between, you mean unsung heroes and soulful leaders, or just unsung heroes?
Just unsung heroes. What do those two words mean to you, Collins?
I think for me, unsung heroes is champions or people or leaders who are maybe doing something, they're doing impact wherever they are, but they are not like recognized. I don't know if I'm right.
Yeah, I think that's a very, very, very fair comment. So let's look at this, Collins, if we may, from a world perspective, and then we'll start to home in on your continent of Africa, and then maybe a bit more specific with your country of Kenya, and then even more specific still. But let's keep it really broad to start with. You're absolutely right. Selfless, beautiful, dedicated people, and the world is full of them. It's absolutely full of them. But isn't it true that oftentimes they don't want that recognition? They don't, how many times, Collins, have you heard it when people turn around and I say, oh, stop making a fuss. I just do these things because I do them, because it's the right thing to do. Don't make a big deal out of it, Collins. It's just who I am. It's just what I do. I mean, have you ever come across that?
Yeah. Actually, many times I've found myself coming across that, and even other people. So it's something that I have been able to get personal experience out of. Yeah.
And the thing is, listeners, I think there's so much bad press and and negativity, and particularly within social media.
Yeah.
Because sensationalism sells, doesn't it? People don't want to tell nice stories. They don't want to report nice stories. They want to report, particularly the media generally, they want to report graphic, toxic, fear-driven stories that, this sensationalism around how bad the world is. Well, okay, yes, the world has got some challenges and some big ones, but it's also a very, very, very beautiful place, is it not?
Yeah. So I think also, Paul, I believe, as I told you, and as for the conversation that we've had, like there's a lot of bad media out there, and people don't want to share those good stories. But as you say, we have a lot of heroes down here, a lot of people doing amazing stuff. I told you I have a group of non-profit leaders, young non-profit leaders, who are every day, about 50, who are every day impacting their communities. And even without resources, they are volunteering. But those stories are not shared, they are not shared. Today, particularly in Kenya, when you find you're doing amazing and impact activities, you'll not be highlighted, but you see, when we hear about bad things, toxic, it is all over the media. So I believe that is something that is there, but we who are doing it, we committed to continue doing it and just raising other people to understand that we can actually change the conversation. We can do it. We can make people to understand about the good stories about what is happening. Yes, Paul.
We spoke in the previous podcast episode, Collins, around from a soulful leader's point of view. What do we do as leaders to inspire people to, to have that confidence, to embrace and to know and to accept that they're heroes, they're everyday heroes. What is it, certainly from an unsung hero point of view, flipping the coin over, what do we need to do? So you're talking to me, Collins, maybe, I'm just a humble guy and I haven't got that confidence. And you're a leader. You're doing amazing things in Africa. You're doing amazing things in your local community within Kenya. And I'm just some guy that comes to you and says, Collins, listen, my world, I don't know, it's very fear driven. I feel like I'm broken. I don't know what to do. And if you might say to me, well, I actually think you're a hero. Oh, no, Collins, I'm not. How do we reach those people, Collins, those unsung heroes, to give them that confidence, that knowledge, that power, that love, that self-empowerment? Because I believe, and it's only my belief, that we as individuals, empowerment comes from within self. We shouldn't be giving that from an external point of view. We might give people confidence and support and guidance, but that empowerment really comes from within. Where do we start that process to put that arm around people, Collins, and show them love and show them compassion and show them guidance? Where do we start? What's the practical steps we can take?
Thank you, Paul. I think for me, I will share what I'm doing, and it works because, for example, when I want people to know about the issue of soulful leadership, or maybe what I'm doing, who is a servant leader, for example, I first of all start by living that. I start by living that as a person. I start by doing what I know is right. I start by being a soulful leader. I start by being what exactly I want them to see. So they learn from me at a distance. Then secondly, I also, like for example, I had to understand myself. How can I reach out to more people and raise them and put confidence in them that they can be able to do exactly what I'm doing? So I started a non-profit organization just to build young people to be leaders who will become agents of positive change in the community. So I created a safe space as a person whereby people can come and we can have these conversations. So there's something I called a concept I created called diving in the deep sea and figuring how to swim. So these people, young people, when they come to the organization, they are able to identify a problem in the community, depending, linking to their passion, So when they go to the community and they identify a problem, then 70% they offer solution. Then the organization will give them 30% support, So I have seen out of this program, these young people are able to learn leadership skills, mobilizational skills, confidence, life skills, and they are able to come up very well because it is a 3-month course, like you have to go through it, like 5 topics. So who is a leader, the role of a leader. So you are able to understand exactly what am I supposed to do. And as you go through that course, you build your capacity in life skills, in problem solving skills. So those are practical things. So when they finish that 3-month course, I'm telling you, Paul, they are able to identify problems and they're able to go out there and solve. One of them the other day just went, and she was a teenage mother, like a young mother. So she went, she couldn't even talk. She was not even confident because the self-esteem was low because she got pregnant when she was young. So when she came to the organization, she was able to go out and identify a problem of other young mothers in the community. So she brought 5 of them, and she started helping them, supporting them, and just sharing her story, the way she was able to get pregnant at a young age and what she underwent. And right now, she is here, and also they can be like her, So that is practical, Paul. And right now, she has started an initiative for young mothers. So I believe that is the way that we are supposed to do, Paul. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. What struck me there, listening to Collins speak, listeners, was like dropping a pebble in a pond. We take a simple pebble, we drop it, and that ripple effect. It's absolutely the way forward. The way to change millions is to change one person at a time. And I know that's almost cliched, but isn't it true for all of us? I think we get so caught up in the media. Oh, you've got everything you do for change. It's got to be massive. It's got to be on a grandiose scale. No, it hasn't. It's got to be on a granular scale. One small speck of sand at a time. That's all it takes. And from that, deserts will emerge. Deserts will emerge. Do you just want to give us a brief snapshot of some of the challenges that you deal with, Collins, within your local community, within your amazing work? Because I've had the insights, listeners, speaking with Collins, so I know some of these graphic challenges that Collins deals with on a day-to-day basis. Do you just want to give us a brief taster of that, Collins? What are some of the issues, the challenges that you deal with?
Paul, as I told you, there's a lot of challenges. And, one thing, coming up with an initiative or an organization is not easy. So I decided to be a soulful leader in my community, a hero, because I started that organization with no resources. And I started it because I wanted to inspire a lot of people that we can actually start where we are with what we have. So I would really love to do a lot for young people in my community and even in Africa, But again, you find that you can't do much when you don't have resources, And right now, as I told you, we are just moving into our office space, like a big space. It's a 3-bedroom house, and it's a youth center. We are coming from a one room office, and I see, because we are growing, because people want to come to us. People feel safe. Young people feel safe in us. So you find we need to come up and just serve them. And one of the challenges, Paul, is also resources. And resources in terms of even materials, like we need materials, books to read. We need, like now, we need computers for the ICT, like this center needs to be an ICT center whereby young people can learn about computer skills, technology they can use to also train themselves on employment, on entrepreneurship, like online jobs. So you find that those are some of the challenges that we undergo, and each and every day we're able to push, we're able to see how do we reach to more young people. Every day we get calls, we got messages that how do we come to you guys, but we can't serve everyone. That is why we try to put out there, like we do a lot of online engagements just for people to understand. So I think that is one of the challenges, Paul. And also another challenge, Paul, is, you see, there's an issue also of dependency syndrome among Africans, people want just to depend on being given. So that is a mindset that we also, as an organization, we are trying to remove from people. Like, we need to use what we have. We need to take advantage of the resources, the local resources that we have, And as time goes, sometimes, I don't know how it happens in your country, but in Kenya, sometimes we have the local resources, but the government sometimes make it very hard for people to get them because there's a lot of corruption and all those things. So those are some of the challenges that we undergo, Paul. But as we say, heroes will never see challenges as as roadblocks, but heroes will ever see challenges as a stepping stone to move to the next level. Yes, Paul.
Thank you so much. As we draw towards a close, Collins, I just want to invite you in again to share your contact details, how people can reach out to you, find out more about you, etc. So what's the best way people can get in touch with you?
So, as I said earlier, I'm in all social media accounts. On Facebook, Collins Mureithi. Twitter, it is @Mureithi Collins, and also LinkedIn, Collins Mureithi. And also my organization platform, we're in social media and Twitter, it is Center for Adolescent and Young Changemakers, or you just click CEFA, CEFA.YCM. Thank you, Paul.
Superb. So there we have it, listeners. Whether we're talking about soulful leaders, whether we're talking about unsung heroes, I think it's fair to say that, please do check out Collins. Take time to check out Collins. And, and I keep using this word and it doesn't even scratch the surface, but the amazing, amazing work that he does. And Collins, in my humble opinion, is absolutely both a soulful leader and an immense unsung hero. And on that note, listeners, I'm going to sign off the way I always do by saying, remember, the world's changing. How will you respond?
Thanks very much for listening to this World Game Changers podcast episode. Hopefully you found it interesting and helpful. Drop a line to paul@worldgamechangers.org with any thoughts or questions you may have, and he'll be more than happy to respond. Remember, the world is changing. How will you respond?